Okay, so roadmap. Roadmap is about telling you how much progress we did on with the Dasharo on various targets. And yeah, of course, a goal without a plan is just a wish. Antoine de Saint-Exupéry, one of my favorite writers, and I would say, like, I completely agree with that. We have goals, but luckily we have also plans. But the problem with those plans is that they often change, or change a lot, I would say. And of course, you should not do any investment. You should not put money on Dasharo team if that they will deliver the Dasharo community release, which we announced in this presentation. Of course, the different thing is when we have like direct contracts. That's a little bit different thing, but even in that we have some delays. You know how it is. It's engineering, it's development, and it's development related to hardware. So okay, if you don't know what this presentation is about, you don't know what I'm talking about, I really recommend watching the old ones. By the way, all the presentations you can find in github.com/dasharo/presentations. And like, you have all the presentations there. You can find the links. You can go there. You can go to the slides and even open those links which are here. Of course, right now probably not clickable for you, but you can watch those Dasharo user groups past plans and see how this differ. If you are interested in that, I guess the current status is the most important. Yeah, so we introduced some statistics regarding roadmap to have some KPIs which we can report to you. But first, there is another announcement, another change. Of course, I'm very ashamed that I have to one more time change naming convention. But I'm talking with various customers. I'm talking with individuals, and of course, naming convention of products which have so many flavors is hard. And that's the proof that we probably changing the naming convention third time or something. But right now, I just hope that it would be better than before. There is still open pull request. It's still kind of request for comments phase. Maybe other way. I already announced that couple weeks ago. There were a couple commenters. I introduced the fixes to the RFC, and now, according to plan, during this quarter, I'm announcing that to you. I'm waiting for the feedback. If someone will tell me, oh no, Peter, this will not fit to some new products or some new thing which happened in Dasharo, then of course I will consider that. Or if someone is saying that this clashing with some other names, then of course this is also the reason to improve that. There is open pull request. There is also issue in Dasharo issues, so you can go to those links. But the new naming convention will look as follows. So of course, this is naming convention for naming the Dasharo releases, you can say. And of course, products, if those will be sold, the binaries will be sold as something in shop. So we have Dasharo, then we have brackets. In brackets, we have firmware framework, which right now can be Coreboot or UEFI. Of course, we can imagine other frameworks in future. Then we have plus payload. Of course, plus payload is if the payload even exists, because it may be the Dasharo which does not have the payload. We had this situation for emulation target for QEMU, where we just used UEFI and there was no payload, no additional payload. So payload could be UEFI, which is really EDK2 compilation. This is like Dasharo downstream of EDK2 with some additional stuff from our developers. The payload also can be heads, can be CBIOS. And then the innovation, kind of, let's in quotes, is who's the target audience or customer type. Is this pro, or so this is for individuals, or enterprise? And then the name is package. So we will say like Dasharo Coreboot plus UEFI Pro package, or Dasharo Pro package. Yeah, so that would mean all the things which going to individuals. Or we will say Dasharo Enterprise package, which means things which going to the commercial entities. And then finally, we will have 4 market segment, where market segment can be emulation, network appliance, laptops, desktops, workstation, or server. And of course, that means we would like to have subscriptions for those market segments, where you're buying subscription for the market segment. Let's say for network appliance, you will get everything what is in the network appliance. When you're buying desktops, then like every Dasharo which is released in desktops, you can use that according to the terms of it and conditions. Okay, so those are examples. I already told you that. So the plan is right now I'm announcing it's Q2. I'm announcing happen right now. Then Q3, Q4 is transition period, where we will kind of start to change documentation, try to adopt that for customers, and so on. And then I hope with the end of this year we will do the switch and we will no longer use the previous scheme. In case of the Dasharo releases, this quarter looked very bad, I would say, although we improved the numbers from the previous quarters, because when I last reported to you on Dasharo Group 5, I had just 7 releases in Q1, and right now I'm reporting 10. So we essentially added three releases in last quarter, and I think this quarter will be the same. We still have like 2 weeks to the end of June. And most likely we will have some couple more releases. I know that some protective stuff coming. I have to deliver PC engines, so yeah, maybe we will land at 6 or something. But you see what's the average? I calculated average here that we have around 6 releases per quarter, and also I calculated that to do the one Dasharo community release, I have to do one Dasharo support package release. So essentially, I have to do 2 commercial releases to deliver one community release. In case of division between market segments, historical data, maybe a little bit about Q1. In Q1, we have 1 release for network appliance, 5 releases for laptops. This includes heads releases for Nova Custom laptops. And then we have desktop for MSI Z790. Also, the head stuff was released last quarter. And this quarter would be mostly network appliance, which is like this blue. And you can see that overall, 3MDEP kind of take cares 45% laptops, 20% network appliance, 18% desktops, workstation 12%, although recently we're not doing any stuff related with workstation, and emulation is like very small, but there will be another release. I will tell you about that in a second. In terms of roadmap changes, which this is something that I'm tracking. So we essentially have like five states which can happen every time I'm reporting roadmap to you. First change can be I could add something new. So new means new roadmap or new release on the roadmap. Change means that I changed something. I can change scope of the release, or I can change delivery date, which is most often thing. Then we have on track, which is like, I guess, like it's a record 5 releases are on track. So we are very happy with that. Of course, as you saw on the previous slides, we already did 3 releases. So you see the 3 releases here, and we removed 1 platform. And that means 18 changes. We should probably calculate what's the average number of changes in the Dasharo roadmap publication. Okay, let's start with QEMU emulation roadmap. So we plan to do the new version of QEMU. This is driven by the UEFI capsule update. So some of you maybe know we're doing UEFI capsule update for core boot. And to make it easy to test, we decided to do the release for the QEMU. And yes, and this is planned for end of Q2. So there will be Dasharo core boot plus UEFI for QEMU published hopefully this quarter. Then Dasharo network appliance roadmap for PC engines. in case of PC engines, we have a couple changes. First of all, version core boot plus UEFI version 09 was released according to the plan in Q1. Then we added 0.91, which we're planning to release this quarter. But this is Dasharo entry subscription release. Of course, like I should start use new nomenclature like former Dasharo entry subscription, but precisely to call it, this would be Dasharo core boot plus UEFI 0.91. Which we're planning to release this quarter. Then I'm working on Dasharo core boot plus CBIOS version, which will be based on core boot 2405. That's why this weird naming. We will have like 2405 0001. And why we add the 00 at the third position, at the patch level position? Because potentially, if something will be wrong in core boot, they will add the third number. This happened in the 2402, where Michał reported RTC bug, and they just added the third number. So we will add fourth number for counting our releases. And I planned initially to do the version 4034, which is like legacy version of PC Engine's firmware. But first of all, I don't see much traction regarding that. And second of all, it would be like quite a lot of work to backport patches, and I'm very busy with dealing with this patch queues and reviving the PC Engine's code base. The cost of this is for personal use, it's €99 per year. And you can go to this links, dasharo.com PC Engines by CBIOS to buy this subscription. And if someone is interested in volume buying this subscription, feel free to contact us, and we will let you know how we can deal with the pricing. Then Michik presented demo on Protectly, which is related to trench boot. So he essentially showed CubeZOS anti-evil mail with trench boot on top of Dasharo core boot plus CBIOS 0.9. So we can say that the release candidate is already code complete, and it was validated because there is definitely something booting there, but it was not validated yet to the point of releasing something. So my hope is that by the end of Q3, we can release this and we can put that in shop. So you can buy Protectly VP 4670 with the Dasharo core boot plus CBIOS, with trench boot, and maybe with CubeZOS anti-evil made working. So that's my hope. Then interesting target for some, but very old to be honest. It's Intel Bay Trail based Minnow Turbot. We're planning to have Dasharo core boot plus UEFI for this platform. We faced some issues with the FSP for Intel Bay Trail while enabling the TXE secure boot for this platform, and because of that, we switched to the mainline core boot to instead of using FSP binary blob, which is probably good for everyone who don't like binary blobs. We switched to MRC, to native MRC from core boot. And then, like I guess, like this is limited blob size for this platform, and we will sell it as a subscription in scope of Dasharo Network Appliance subscription. And additional thing for this will be that we will have Dasharo Trust Root, so you can fuse the processor to your keys, so the firmware which is signed only by your keys could be booted on the platform. And I guess if someone has Intel built Bay Trail hardware and would like to adapt this code, we are also welcoming this kind of discussion. This is very interesting, could be very interesting for some of you. This is target that I choose. Of course, it's not yet set in stone. It's just a plan. But I already got the approval for Hardware I/O conference and giving training there. I want to do open security training, root of trust part and UEFI secure boot part. And these trainings would be both on emulation on QEMU target and the hardware. And this hardware will be Odroid H4. I don't know if you know Odroid, but Hard Kernel is a great Korean company. They're doing really good stuff. They publish schematics for their hardware. The community is very active. So I still have to reach out to them and talk with them what they think about this project. But the idea is to have Odroid H4 and Dasharo for this platform in our shop available for the subscribers. Yeah, I guess like I will appreciate someone's making noise, so I appreciate if someone's muting. Okay, in case of Nova Custom heads builds, we already released it, what we planned. There are two more releases. There is 091 and 180, which we plan, but this is Q3, and we will see if this will happen. So the point here is to add the Dasharo Trust Root. So essentially give ability to buy laptops which are fused with Dasharo keys or can be fused with the customer keys, if someone would like to have this kind of protection. Then Lenovo Think Center, no traction here. The code was merged last quarter, and we would have to do the validation. So I'm keeping this on track, but to be honest, I don't know if we will find resources to deliver this release. But if there will be enough activity from the community, there will be enough interest. So if you are interested in Lenovo Think Center M700, M900, then please let us know. This definitely can raise the priority for this hardware. In case of Dell, I already wanted to remove this roadmap because we are so delayed with delivering the Optiplex release. But on the other side, we had plans for demoing the Dasharo Coreboot Plus CBIOS on the Zen Summit. This didn't happen, but I still hope that we can maybe do that for the CubeOS Summit. We will see. And of course, if that will not happen and we will decide this doesn't make sense, then we will remove this platform from the roadmap. There is still some traction. We starting to bring back this hardware to our Dasharo certification lab. So maybe this will be something that could help bring back the platform to the Dasharo tree. Okay, in case of MSI, Z690, I guess like Z690 already passed its like shiny years, and because of that, we're thinking about shifting the community release, so the free release 1 quarter early. So I'm just right now leaving the roadmap as it is, but there is already discussion about that, and it may happen that when I will do announcements and do the roadmap during Q3, you will see that the community release was already published or is planned to be published in Q3. So yeah, so this is how it looks like for Z690. Yeah, I guess this was Z790 without change. So essentially, what I announced last time holds. So we plan to do the Q3 desk release. I don't know, maybe it will follow Z690 and we will also move the community release 1 quarter earlier. But yeah, that's still under discussion. In case of heads for the Z690 and Z790, we already did the release in Q1, so everything was published on time. And right now we have no plans for new releases. Unfortunately, I have to say that heads for the desktop selling very bad. It's like essentially like very little people interested in that. So what I can say, like the motivation for doing next release is very, very low. In case of desktop ASRock X370, I didn't heard from Han Etzer anything. So I guess this effort is stalled, and I didn't want to change any plans here. I guess I will remove this roadmap if there will be no update until next time. But what is interesting, because that effort was related, and we discussed during the VPAP potential for using OpenSeal on the AM4 AMD stuff. But recently there were some announcements from Martin Roth on Coreboot Gerrit that he did OpenSeal integration for framework 13 AMD. So this showed the potential of porting Coreboot and integrating with OpenSeal for the modern AMD. So that means like all the effort that we planned and discussed on past VPAPs is no longer valid, because we already passed that point, and there are modern platforms which could be integrated with the upcoming OpenSeal support. So I guess it will suppress all the efforts we had. Okay, in case of workstation, I already removed the KGP D16. I don't see the way we can do anything. But when I remove that, I just get the emails from Free Software Foundation and people who deal with the Respect Your Freedom certification. And yeah, I have call with them next week, and also Thierry will be there. So we will see if we can do something with bringing back KGP D16, or maybe do something with other hardware. We will see. In case of Talos 2, so Raptor Computing Systems Talos 2, we moved the release to the I guess like we moved the release to the Q3, but this is not reflected on the graphics. I guess like we will move the releases further, because right now we have no resources for doing this release, and yeah, and essentially until anything will change regarding the Talos 2, until we will get some traction, we are too busy with other roadmaps, with delivering things on other roadmaps where there is traction, there is commercial traction, there is traction from the community. Until that point, this effort is stalled. And yeah, and I removed the Dasharo server roadmap. This is just like, I guess, last announcement about X11 SSH-TF. I don't see how we can continue that, especially that we have very interesting discussion at the end of the VPAP today regarding Sapphire Rapids based hardware. So if we will invest some energy, this would be probably more recent hardware. Yeah, I know that there are still people asking for X11, but to be honest, server platform and work on server platform is a lot of effort, and I really doubt anyone from the Dasharo team can sit down and commit to deliver things, let's say, in next quarter. Okay, and that's it. That's it from Dasharo roadmap.